Voila! And just like that, 1,138 pages read. These are exciting times, book friends. Welcome to my channel, the Grape Jelly Library. My name is Flo, and I am so glad you could join me. I always look forward to your visit. How many of you out there have read this book? That many of you. Wow! I'm surprised. I knew it was a lot, but I had no idea it was that many. When this book came in on the train, I must have missed my chance at a seat for the ride because I just, can you believe it? 1986, I have just read this in the year 2022. Yeah, there's, I don't even know what to say. I don't even know what to say about my waiting so long to read this. And I have very strong opinions about this book. Some of them I am going to keep to myself because they are less than gratuitous, shall we say. And when somebody pours their heart and soul into 1,138 pages, who am I to pull the rug out from under them? Yeah, I didn't put that much hard work and effort and blood, sweat, and tears into this, and so I'm not going to be the one to tear it down. Although I am going to say it is extremely long-winded and unnecessarily long. My only question coming away from this book, or the most prominent question coming away from this book, I should say, is, I'm gonna Google this. I think I may have already, but I forgot the answer. My question was, who the heck was his editor, and how the heck did it get past him? Where was his mind frame? I don't too much. TMI? Yes, absolutely, TMI. All right, now that we got past that, let's get into my non-spoiler quick review of what I thought and what I perhaps came away with, if anything. Stay tuned. All right, so this is undeniably a cult favorite to so many people out there of all walks of life and all ages. Sadly, I'm not walking the walk, or categorizing myself in that regime, because it's definitely not a favorite of mine. I'm going to go out and say that I have an appreciation for it and all the hard work that was put into it, but at like no time did my brain click or relate to it, or my neurons were not sparking. There was no enlightenment, no excitement, no thrill. It was, for me, just a read. Last year when I read it, I was somewhat more traumatized. I guess I was in a weaker frame of mind because I bailed after a fight scene. I bailed. And now, 1 year later, I reflect back on that action that I took in my decision to abandon this book. And I said, why? Like, what? Why did I? I've read scarier books and experienced scarier moments within a book. So why I chose to put this book down, I don't know. It's beyond me. But the important part is I finished it. I finally finished it. And for those of you out there who get a little queasy at those of us who write in our books, you might want to turn your head, turn a blind eye for this, because I'm about to do a thing. I got to actually do what I do with all of my books. I got to put in my finished reading date. And well, that certainly excites me, because this is a book that I didn't plan on DNFing, but it definitely was a book that I put on the back burner. It was a let me see, TBRAAT, to be read at another time. Yeah, but we got it. I took my notes briefly. Here they are for all of you out there to appreciate my artistic abilities. Them stick figures, what do you think about them? They're adorable, aren't they? But anyways, yeah, this is I don't want to discourage anybody out there from reading it. I definitely think that if it is something that is on your to-do list, on your checklist, a future goal of yours, by all means, I would say give it a go, you know, attempt it and see where it takes you. You might end up loving it. Myself not being a moviegoer, and I think even if I was, I just wouldn't sit down to watch this. But as far as reading the book goes, if I had to do it all over again, what all of you out there know, would I read this again? Yes. I am quite pleased with myself in knowing that I now am amongst many, many of you out there who have experienced Stephen King's 22nd book / 17th novel. What a doozy, and what a storyline, and what an imagination. A very, very fascinating imagination. I was doing a buddy read with my buddy Michael Romeo over at the channel Michael Romeo Talks Books. He has a fabulous channel. I just love to watch his videos. And he just recently put out a video of all of the books that he wants to read that he has not read. And I have to say, wow, I'm impressed with that list. Now I myself want to read those books. So yeah, head over to his channel, give him a subscribe. You will not be sorry that you did. But yeah, we teamed up and we both were reading this together. We had no time limit in reading this book. I wanted to get it over with in October because I strongly felt that if I didn't complete it in October, chances are that I would have a harder and harder time picking this up. He has given himself until December, and even with that, no pressure. Yeah, so I am interested in hearing his thoughts on this book, because like me, he started it and he never finished it. And he found himself years later, you know, saying to himself, you know, I started out on that journey and I walked away. And so when I proposed a reading challenge with a buddy, he quickly jumped on board, and I am thankful that he did, because just knowing that somebody else was reading it with me helped me tremendously to get through this. I knew I wasn't going through this journey alone, and as tough as it is to complete all of those pages, just knowing that somebody else is, you know, in my corner and doing the same thing as me, yeah, helped me tremendously to push myself and to keep going. So yeah, thank you, Michael, for picking this book up with me and sharing in your experience with me. I cannot wait to see what your thoughts of this book are. I'm trying to keep my thoughts very vague, because those of you who have read it, you know, those of you who know, and those of you who have not read it, I do not want to spoil it for you. I absolutely want this to be your journey, and I don't want to convolute your thoughts or put any negative deterrents in your mind and discourage you from picking this up or completing it yourself. That is my video, and I will see you next time. Please join me when we discuss street gangs. Until then, know I love you. Be well, be good, and be reading.